Test. Is this thing working? Is this thing on?
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BLT podcast. This is episode 7. My host and my other guests, you'll understand the host part here in a minute, sat up in their chairs, which is tradition on this podcast when we start things off right. Trying to make sure that we're ready to go here on the BLT podcast. As you can tell, no fancy intro this time. This is straight off the cranium. We're going to call this one like stripped or unplugged because this time we're remote. We are, I don't know, where are we? We are in Presidio, Texas, which for those of you that live in a civilized world that have never heard of this place, Presidio is a small border town here in West Texas on the border of Ojinaga in Mexico. And it's about, 3 hours or so, 3.5 hours, maybe 4 from Odessa, Texas, if you're familiar with oil country. But I'm here with 2 people from episode 2 and very frequent guests. We have Nathan and Ivan. How are you guys doing today?
Hello. Tired, sore.
Sore, yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah, I'm really tired.
Yeah, so we are at Ivan's house. He's the host of me hosting this podcast, which is really cool. He's been showing us around his hometown the last 2 days as kind of a send-off, kind of just like celebrating homie time while everyone's on Christmas break, which has been, it's been really nice. And how you guys been? Well, I don't know. What's going on in your lives? Tell us. We'll start with you, Nathan. What's going on?
I mean, we're on Christmas break. I'm finally enjoying having some time off.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, same old. Other than, hanging out with y'all and starting what we got going on. Within No Fear still doing their thing. We're still writing. We're planning on playing shows and just getting ready for school again here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I heard there might be some news going on with your position at the school.
Oh, yeah.
Possible good news?
Possible good news. You both know that I graduated with a degree in kinesiology.
Yep.
Well, this kinesiology major may land a full-time teaching position as a social studies teacher just because I've been getting a lot of good, I don't know if you say like reviews from parents and stuff from students, but they've been saying a lot of good things about me. And the head of the social studies department is really fighting for me to be a full-time history teacher.
Hey, and I don't speak for just myself when I say it. You would deserve it.
Well,
very deserving.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just knowing how you are as a person, I can honestly, bro, I would love to watch you teach.
No, thank you.
Like honestly, like I bet you make class very fun experience.
I try to make it for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I love the fact that my kids always come to me saying that that's their favorite period to go to. So it puts a smile on my face when they.
That's what it's about,
yeah.
Right? I mean, we're not fighting to just like win over the brownie points with our kids, but I mean, why make learning such a boring and
exactly
prison sentence like structure that other people try and make it? Like, learning should be fun. Learning should be relatable. And heck yeah, even the stories you told us is fire, bro. Oh. Yeah. Ivan, what about you? What's going on?
Same old thing. Just got out of started Christmas break. Got a bunch of gifts from my students, but so far it's been a chill and adventure type vacation. Yeah.
Chill and adventure, I don't think are normally used together, but
I know.
Considering what we did today, which we'll get into, I think is a prime example of that.
I mean, yeah.
How was your first semester? Are you tired? Are you excited? What's your headspace? Your first semester, for context, first semester teacher, fresh out of college. This is also still the beginning of Nathan's career. I don't know, what's your headspace going into the break? This is like the halftime report of the basketball game right here. We're getting ready for the second half. What's the game plan? What's your headspace at?
I am tired. It's been really relaxing, just sleeping in. getting those that recovery. But man, just getting ready for contest season next semester.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to it.
Does that stress you out at all? I mean, more than
not right
natural.
now.
Yeah.
Not right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get really stressed.
Yeah. So
That's gonna be fun.
Do you guys take one group to concert sighting?
Yeah, we're gonna take one group. Yeah.
Good. Are you gonna conduct anything on there? Do you have your duties assigned yet?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna conduct something. But I think we already got the 3 songs that we're gonna do.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do sight reading?
No.
No. No, that's the scary part. The scary part is the sight reading. So
that is like very scary.
Yeah. Dang. What about you, Nathan? What's your halftime report on your occupation and life happenings?
Tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I mean, for my first semester, I started off in January. I went from teaching 2 periods of youth leadership and doing what's called paraprofessional work with the kids who need it. And then, of course, they hired me on as a full-time. I was coaching at the time, too, and I had to stop coaching because of my knee problems. But once I got on, they're like, okay, you're going to be teaching 2 things this semester. You'll be teaching health and reading, and you'll be a full-time teacher. Well, something happened with the whole social studies thing. There wasn't enough teachers teaching, basically, because the rest of the stuff, people are coaches. And they're like, how about you do social studies as well? And I'm like, so I'll be teaching 3 disciplines within a semester. So that means you have to do 3 lesson plans, 3 or of anything that they require to do. We have something called design and delivery, which has to deal with TEAC, so you have to deal with all 3 disciplines. And it's just like every one lesson plan that one teacher has to do, I have to do 3 of. And
jeez.
I'm not gonna be a no, or I gotta say no. I'm always a yes man.
Yeah.
Because my boss was my old coach, so he got me the job. Of course, I'm not gonna say no, to something like that. And I don't know. It was a real big step up to facing adversity for me, because I was like, I got this in the bag. And I would work all 5 days, right? Stay like an hour after school to make sure I have everything ready for the next day, and then work weekends like crazy. I would work 3 hours, 4 hours grading on Saturday, and then work about 2 to 3 hours getting my lesson plans and everything ready for that next week. So it was a constant
I remember
thing. Every single day I had to do something. And when y'all wanted to hang out, I had to be like, okay, let me know when, so I can go in early and leave right after work, like working those 3 hours or something, so I can head over to hang out with y'all. But it's over. Starting back in January again, but I finally got used to my regime. I have a routine now, so it doesn't feel as stressful. It's just a lot of time. That's really all it is.
They teach us so much in our classes in university. Your students need a routine from day one. They need a routine. And so like we're always focused on like creating a routine for them, but bro, we need a routine ourselves too.
Yes.
That was the hardest thing for me to figure out, even as a student teacher, was like, I've got to have a routine set for myself of exactly when I'm going to wake up, everything I'm going to do in the morning. I've got 2 campuses that I'm working on, all these different groups of kids, and then I'm also a student on top of that. Bruh, respect.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to balance work, now life, and I'm in a relationship, trying to balance that out. And then I have to work, business as well. Within No Fears, not just some band. I'm over here having to worry about, hey, let's schedule studio times, let's schedule producer times, let's do this. And it's overwhelming, but I'm a creative and I can't stand to not do it. So it's like I just have to suck it up and just be a man about it.
I'm gonna pick the easy answer and say tired is my response to. I graduated about a week and a half ago, which honestly still doesn't. Thank you. Hey, taking a bow. I survived the university ecosystem. It feels totally weird. I feel like I'm still in college because I technically am. I'll get in that. I mean, it's the same stuff that I've been talking about forever. But yeah, tired is exactly what I felt. Working 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week. You know, doing what I love. Granted, you know, it was very nice to have the family come over and celebrate that big win. But it was also nice when all the family left and I was alone for like the last week, sleeping until 1 a.m. and playing Grand Theft Auto 5 until the wee hours of the morning, and literally living in my pajamas has been really nice to kind of reset and rewind. And you guys have kind of had some busy stuff going on the last couple weeks, but I know you guys have a little bit of time left. I hope after we're done here, you guys get that recharge.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Which, granted, I think some of you are like me, and a little too much of the recharge, not doing anything, kills you. Like, I get so bored, and I was like, all I look forward to when I'm so busy is like, man, I can't wait to like do nothing, and then I'm like, this is so lonely. I feel useless. I need to do something. Like, even playing video games is hard, and so it's like, oh, I'm gonna be creative. I'm gonna practice piano. Oh, I'm gonna practice trumpet. Oh, bro, I pulled up YouTube. I started like reteaching myself guitar, and I was like, I've got to do something here. And then something cool happened with us three. That's been very helpful. We'll get in that here in a little bit. But
speaking on that whole like resting too much, do you ever feel guilty?
oh god,
Like, you know, like
day.
I think it's more not really a sense of like dread. It's more like I need to be doing something.
Yeah.
I need to be not on my ass playing.
And it's not
GTA.
guilt like, oh man, like my boss is always
No,
gonna.
yeah,
it's
but
like,
it's like-
in yourself, you're like, bro,
am
life
I
is so
doing?
short. I need to do something. I need to figure out how I am going to be living in the history books, or I don't know, how am I going to leave my legacy if I'm playing Call of Duty? You know,
Exactly.
like, I'm not going to be a Twitch streamer either.
I don't get how people can do that. I don't get how people can just sit there and play games all day long.
Yeah.
And I used to do that, dude. But I got
too.
so tired of it. I'm like, I can't even sit down and play Red Dead for
Oh, yeah.
like an hour or two without feeling like, hey, I need to get up and do something.
Yeah.
And it comes in phases for me. Like, during breaks, I'll be like, yeah, I'm a gamer. I'm gonna start a Twitch channel. No, I'm not good at video games. But then I play for like 2 hours in a row, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm bored. You know. And then I'll go like 4 months without like barely playing anything. So I totally get it. Last up on my kind of life update. First of all, Merry Christmas. We're recording this 2 days after Christmas. We're still on the Christmas hype train. New Year's is coming up this weekend. It's really fun. I have about a week and a day until I'm out of here. Honestly, I'm crapping my pants. Don't know what to expect. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm sad because I'm leaving my homies. I'm leaving the familiar, and I'm entering the unknown. Moving to Washington, D.C. until April, which isn't a long time, but arguably could be long depending on the situation. So as soon as we get back from Presidio tomorrow, I'm like on a mad dash to clean my room and do laundry and pack. But we'll see, because I'm gonna go home for a couple days, do Christmas and see family before I leave. But I don't know, man. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine
Yeah.
how you feel just going almost across the country.
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. I mean, it's a familiar place. My dad's lived there for 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more years now, and so I've gone to visit him a couple times. Semi-familiar with the area. I'll have him there, at least for a part of the time. So there is a sense of familiarity, but at the same time, the work I'm doing, the academic component of the fellowship is, I don't know, it's really exciting. I guess this is a great time to also add that this is the penultimate episode of this first season of the grand experiment of the BLT podcast. I'm hoping to do another episode next week before I leave. We're going to call it quits. I'm going to take a break, let me get settled in a new environment, and who knows, maybe I'll do like a season 1.5, maybe some solo podcasts. I don't know, maybe something with my dad, or I don't know,
Maybe some new people.
some other people I meet over there in DC, but it'll be a special edition version of the BLT podcast. But I don't want to commit to anything until I know what my schedule is and what things are looking like. So this is almost it. And it's funny, this is the second episode kind of ever was us three for the BLT podcast. The second to last episode, maybe ever, because I'm not doing this podcast anymore. No, I'm just
No.
but no, it's been really great. We don't really have a full slate of things to talk about, but some really cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to bring up and to mention and for us to discuss. First of all, let's talk about our adventure here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The last 2 days. So Ivan came up with this idea of like, hey guys, let's go to Presidio and go to Big Bend. What, 3 days ago?
3 days ago.
About 3 days ago.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm not doing anything than laying in my underwear and playing Grand Theft Auto. The hard part was Nathan. Nathan been busy traveling and trying to rest.
Yeah, trying.
We threw him in the truck, and I don't know. It's been fun.
It was really fun. I'm glad y'all invited me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So let's talk about our journey. Let's talk about our journey today before we talk about what we did last night.
Oh yeah.
So today went to Big Bend National Park.
Phrasing, by the way, that didn't sound too good.
What? Oh. Hey, cut the cameras. All right.
But yeah.
Today we went to Big Bend National Park. Brandon has never been. The other two guys have at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I've got to say, it's been on my bucket list ever since I moved to West Texas. And it didn't happen until after I graduated, which is okay. But holy cow, it is impossible to experience this massive national park in one day. But I think we managed pretty well.
We did. Took some awesome pictures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're very, very, very sore. Yeah, so we woke up, we had a nice breakfast in like one of the only places to eat here in Presidio, which might add is pretty damn good.
It's really good. Oh my gosh.
The Bean Cafe here in downtown Metropolis, Presidio. What do you guys have for breakfast? Remind me.
We had what was it? Something
Yeah, it was like a special in that restaurant, and it's like eggs, beans, and asado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I had the chilaquiles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, bro, it was so good.
I also ate some pancakes.
And I got some French. That French toast went in. I'm sorry. I devoured that French toast.
Well, we also ate at the restaurant yesterday, and it was also really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Too. I even forgot what I got. But it was really good though.
You know, I've been to Presidio one other time.
Oh, we got chicken fries.
And that was Nathan and me were on a school trip to Chihuahua City, and we passed through obviously to go across the border here, and we stopped at the same restaurant. And we had like burgers and stuff from there.
Just just a real quick box meal.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, ate breakfast this morning. Took the scary hour and a half long drive to Big Bend in the mountains.
Oh my god. Okay. That was the most. I feel like we had a lot of fun just getting to
man.
Bend.
It was incredibly fun.
At first it was kind of like, oh, we're going to relax. And then the road was like.
Just the roller coaster.
I was so tired and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to sleep in the car. It's like, no, if I close my eyes, I'm going to be like thrown to the other side of the truck or hit my head on the seat because
I'm still laughing.
That road is no joke, man.
That one point on the road where we're all like, oh, like we started reaching for the handles and going.
It's like the part of the roller coaster where you're like, oh, it's not going up like too high,
like,
but you don't know that it like goes underneath the ground.
Yeah.
It's like really steep. And so we get over the top of the hill, and then it's like, oh my god, it's not there.
We don't see the road. I was like, oh my gosh, my stomach dropped. I don't know how many times during that dang trip. It wasn't as bad coming back though, but
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, coming back was a little bit more calm.
But still,
because we couldn't see our surroundings, maybe.
Any chance we got, we're like, whoa.
Yeah. I think for me is like I'm not like super used to being in the back seat. I'm actually like a really big control freak when it comes to driving. Like I like to drive, and so it's like putting my fate in other people's hands. Even though, don't get me wrong, I trust you with my life, but even my own mother, even
me too.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like if I die, I have no control over whether or not I could have prevented it. I'd rather die at my own hands.
No, well, that's true. I'd rather just drive because I like driving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I could have experienced half the stuff we did in my car. Just to be able to go. I can't imagine. Imagine that rock that we ran over coming back.
Yeah, we ran into a rock slide situation on the way back.
Oh, yeah.
Giant rocks on the road.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh. But anyway, Big Ben was popping today. It was very busy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think that this would have been the busiest part of the year until I realized that, going to the desert in the winter is probably the safest time to go hiking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there.
The weather was
Perfect.
pretty good. Yeah.
It was the most perfect time to come, too.
And I think even the fact, part of it was annoying, but it was like not having phone service for like 90% of the trip was actually really, epic.
Yeah. It was nice.
Kind of getting to unplug. Maybe I'll just call this podcast Stripped and Unplugged.
Ooh.
That also sounds kind of weird, though. But yeah, what did we do? Y'all take it over. What did we do?
But you're kind of right about the whole phone thing, though.
Oh yeah.
We only. It kind of sucked until we wanted it to work. Like when I said, send the pictures.
Let's look this up because we're curious about this.
Yeah. No, but not having it was kind of relaxing. It kind of got us away from looking at our phones all the dang time. We kind of got to know nature a little bit more, look at our surroundings. And I thought, like you said earlier when we got there, it makes you feel minuscule compared to the world. Like you think you're a nobody. Even if you think you're a somebody, you're still a nobody in the eyes of what the world is. Like, it is so big over there.
Everybody, especially when they feel like their walls are like closing in around them, need to go somewhere like Big Ben. Like you said, like I said, like we all said, to just experience your place in the universe in comparison to your surroundings. Like standing in I forgot even the name of it.
Not Chisos.
Chisos Canyon or whatever. I don't even know. The main big part between all the mountains. There's a visitor center down there, and like looking up, and every single part of the park around you is mountain, and you feel tiny. And then you decide to go on a 4.5-5 mile hike.
Yeah, gosh.
And then you're like, I didn't know it was this long.
No, the hike was beautiful though, but we went in headstrong like crazy.
Oh, we were so cocky.
Yeah, we were.
We're like, we're gonna knock this out in 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Granted, we were very close to the 2 hours.
Yeah, we were.
And
like you said, we were going downhill like it was nobody's business. We're all friendly, and there's people like, why are they dying? Come back. Why are they breathing so hard? And like we're like, hey, how are you? Hey, every single person that passes by. But
we're joking, listening to music, going real fast.
Taking
the boys are tooting. We're taking pictures together, and then everyone's moving out of our way, and we're like, oh yeah, these three big men like coming through here, like they own the place. But we understand why, because they were defeated, like we were going to be.
Oh my god,
man.
But yeah, so we went to one of the lodges, and then we went to the fossil site, the fossil center.
That was fun.
Which, granted, today in like the 5 hours that we were in the park, we did maybe 0.5% of that park. We're definitely going back as a crew. But yeah, we went to the fossil place.
That was interesting.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, what were y'all's takes from that experience? Because I've got mine, but I talk a lot, so I like to
me too. So
spread the wealth.
I found out that Big Ben used to be just sea, just water.
It's the ocean.
Yeah,
just crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the largest set of mountains in the state. Used to be 100 feet underwater.
That is super crazy to think about. And there was a bunch of dinosaurs and bunch of how do you call them? The people that study them?
Paleontologists.
When did they discover the fossils? Like in
think
the
like
1900s,
1930s, 1940s is when they started.
They started, and it was super cool.
Yeah, they found like parts of T-Rex bones and mammoths, these giant rhinoceros things, pterodactyls, these giant alligator-looking things.
It's a Quetzalcoatl, I believe.
I knew you were going to say something nerding like that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a nerd for that stuff. Whenever I got there, I was like nerding out.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, "We're gonna go."
Nate took a picture of every single exhibit.
We're gonna go. No, it's because before I wanted to do music at like UTSA or even Kines, I wanted to do paleontology. I just could never find a school who had the discipline. Before I knew you had to go into like geology and have a separate master and discipline for
the roundabout way of paleontology in Texas these days. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I really wanted to do that because Jurassic Park was my thing. Dr. Alan Grant was my go-to hero character guy. And when I got there, I was like, I'm secretly nerding out. But then I started just talking too much about stuff like that. No, but even after, like, how I was connecting the dots between kinesiology and how that connected the dots of studying the physiology anatomy of, paleontology, and I was like, no, I was nerding out.
Light bulb. Yeah, it was so cool. And it's not just like a roadside stand with like a picture of like, oh, there have been dinosaurs here. It was literally a big building with the dang fossils in it. Granted, a lot of them the bigger ones are like plaster casts because people like to steal dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
But showing things that have actually been discovered in the park, and the different animals that, like, bro, who knew that T-Rex was walking around West Texas?
Yeah.
Back when it was swampland, I guess then. But these giant animals and the scariest looking like dinosaur anglerfish thing. Like
that was
they were huge.
And like Ivan said, imagine being underwater. Or was it you, Brandon? That
it was Brandon.
You were like, oh yeah, this is beautiful.
Well, because they said that Big Bend would have been very similar to, was it like Bora Bora or Tahiti, or like one of those like really pretty crystal blue water, shallow sea kind of moments. I was like, oh, imagine you're there, like it's a vacation spot, and then one of these death machines like swims up to
your body.
Giant piranha, like.
No, it was ugly,
man.
One thing that I was a big nerd about was that whole T-Rex thing. Not just the full T-Rex skull. They actually found a part of a skull, but basically made it like a cousin of the T-Rex. It may have been a new species of T-Rexes or a smaller version of T-Rexes, or it may just been a youth or a like adolescent T-Rex. But I think that's really cool. Just the fact that a Tyrannosaurus could have been walking around, and even a new species could have evolved before they were gone, and it was here in Big Bend.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, all three of us grew up loving dinosaurs. In fact, I was reminded by all the dinosaurs on the cabinet here in Ivan's house. I've got to ask, growing up, what was your favorite dinosaur? Do you know? Nate, you go first.
I go first?
Yeah.
This is hard. I'm in between two. Okay. First off, I want to talk about Spinosaurus. Okay.
Oh.
Jurassic Park 3 did nothing to it. That's not the way it is. Natural
it had feathers,
alligators.
Right?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking about a different animal.
The Spinosaurus is actually closely related to alligators and crocodiles. So the reason why it had the fin, it was not a land predator. It shouldn't have been chasing down Alan Grant in the movies, and it wasn't that gigantic monster. It was a river monster, basically, like an alligator, and it even uses tactics such as alligators. In alligators, they have sensors on their snout, so when they feel movement or any vibration, they know when to clamp down. Well, same thing with Spinosaurus. They would bring their snouts to the river, and they would sense fish, and once that sensor crosses their nerves on their snouts, they would chomp down, and that's how they would hunt. And of course, the other one that's like very... I don't know, on my bucket list. It's not a T-Rex, surprisingly. It's a Giganotosaurus.
Wait, what?
Giganotosaurus was one of the largest carnivores. I don't even know what period or era they were. I don't know if it was a Jurassic or Triassic, or even Cretaceous. I don't know. But it was still one of the largest just predators that could possibly match up a T-Rex. Had a larger skull than a T-Rex. it looked really dumb. Like, it looked dumb. But it was one of the most carnivorous beasts during that time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I need to look this up.
And this
Giganotosaurus?
Yeah. And of course, oh my God, there was one more. I'll come back to it if I remember the name. It had the little horns. Oh my God, what is it called?
Oh.
Very scrawny little arms.
Yeah.
One of my favorite looking ones, but I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Ivan.
I don't really know that much about dinosaurs.
Well, yeah,
but
when Nate talks about dinosaurs, it just makes us blows us all
Oh
away.
my God.
it's just T-Rex.
Of course.
Yeah.
The apex predator.
From I used to watch this show called Littlefoot.
Littlefoot.
Yeah.
Littlefoot. Yeah. Used to watch it a lot. What else?
I used to watch
I was me and my brother were obsessed with dinosaurs, like from 1 to like 3 years old. Like, we were super obsessed. And
Did you guys watch Land Before Time?
Yes, that's it right there. So that's Littlefoot.
Oh, Littlefoot is a character, right? Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Was it the Brontosaurus?
Yeah.
Or the Brachiosaurus? I don't know what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. And there was like also like 2 documentaries about dinosaurs that we just used to watch like on repeat.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so. For carnivores, I liked velociraptors, like every other basic kid who watched Jurassic Park. But I was also a long neck fan, like Brachiosaurus, and I always want to call it Dionysus, like the Greek god of like wine. But I know it's not that. But I was a long neck fan. But anyway, before we, I know Nate's still like looking it up. My only crazy take that blows my mind about dinosaurs, I mean, it makes sense, but is that dinosaurs have lived on this earth far longer than humans ever have, or possibly ever will.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did not know that. What the heck?
Dude,
Yeah, if you think
look
about
up like the beginning of the Cretaceous period.
Yeah, we're over 65. What? They lived 65 million years ago.
That's when they died.
Yeah.
And they lived for
Even longer than that.
like 150 million years before that, or something like. Or
You didn't even think about that. I mean, the actual living creatures, algae, bacteria, anything living, microscopic creatures have been here even longer than they have.
I just want to know, like, what happened to make them all such brutal, like terror nightmare machines.
The ecosystem, that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
If our ecosystem would have been changing, from this day to another, 100 years, it would change no matter what. I mean, it's hotter now than it was 100 years ago. I can't imagine what it was like back in the Cretaceous period, or during the Triassic or Jurassic era. I mean, it's just your ecosystem.
Man. So I just looked this up. So modern humans, our current species, appeared about 200,000 years ago. Whereas, I mean, you can count it up to 7 million years ago if you include the whole human family, evolution. But dinosaurs have lived for about 165 million years from beginning to end, which is crazy.
Wow.
But anyway.
I found it finally, but...
What is it?
I think if I had to choose one, it'd probably be a Carnotaurus. You know what a Carnotaurus is? Yeah. It had like short horns on its head.
Yep.
Little to no arms, like at all. They were useless.
Is that the one that kind of like similar like to the T-Rex family?
Yes, similar to them, but they're
smaller.
They were very much smaller, and like I said, their arms were the fraction of their size. If I don't even know how they would move or they were even useful, but they were actually useful for one purpose, and it's insane. They were used for mating rituals. Yeah. So the mating ritual of a Carnotaurus would be, Carnotaurus used to have a real colorful bottom side of their neck, just like most birds of nowadays. If you were to see any kind of birds that have to do mating stuff, have real colorful underbellies or real colorful like necks, they would do the same thing. So in order to find a potential mate, they would have to make sure they were really beautiful underneath, and they would perform a ritual or a dance using their arms. So they would
like
lift like a bird. They would lift their head up all the way up like that, and they would spread their tiny, just minuscule little arms out and just like spread eagle it, right? But they would do like little dances with it and like wave around their arms like a bird would with their wings. And that was like their mating ritual. So I'm over here. I think oh my God, what was it called?
I feel
it was
like
on
that's
Apple.
cap.
No, I'm looking it up. I believe it's somewhere on Apple TV. It was a show, and it actually showed an actual documentary about the Carnotaurus doing that. It was on Prehistoric Planet.
How do they know? Or is that?
I know,
mean, obviously
right?
it's all theory, right? Like
It should be all
because we still don't even know like what exactly. But
the only other
crazy.
thing, I mean, the only thing that makes it realistic is the fact that they're basically family with birds.
Yeah.
You know, their tailbones, everything from hollow bones, everything. Like they studied it and they were like, okay, maybe they actually did have these relations and actually similarities with modern day, birds.
Man.
But yeah, that was my hot take on
Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs was the whoa, like out of nowhere moment for today. That was like really dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually did the dinosaurs first. Then we hiked the window trail, which we talked a little bit about that. But holy cow!
Can we talk about what we saw at the end though? That was something else, huh?
Dude, it was
even on the way over there.
It was beautiful. I was taking so many pictures.
Yeah.
And literally the end of the window trail is like you're at the end of this valley, this canyon kind of, sandwiched between two mountains, and you're still like 5,000 feet above what would be sea level, but probably around 1,000 feet above the bottom of the basin there, and you kind of get a window picturesque view of the surrounding mountains and the rest of Big Bend out at the end of it.
It was pretty surreal whenever you got there, like,
and the sun was going down.
Yes,
bro, it was like out a movie, out of a movie.
No, but just being there, seeing that, man, it was something else.
Yeah,
it was kind of scary. The like rocks were so smooth and slippery.
Yeah,
one wrong like. There's like this little dip, which if you follow the BLT podcast Facebook page, I'm going to post some of these pictures on there with the link to the podcast so you can see what we're talking about. There's this like hole/dip right there at the edge. Great place for taking pictures. But getting in there, like I was slipping and sliding, and I was just thinking, I was like a little bit too much momentum, or someone that doesn't want to go in the little divot and wants to go closer, easily slide off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And just die.
Yeah.
There's no net. There's no railing. Like, it's just the edge of the universe.
Trust. That's it.
Oh, man.
But, no, yeah, seeing you do that, I was scared for you. Because I don't know if you had any control of it. But you seemed like you kind of got out of control. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, Brandon. And I was like...
Because I was like, when in doubt, just sit down. And your weight will pull you into a divot somewhere.
It's like you were really trying to get to that view, and I'm like, oh my God.
Hey,
and then
I walked 2 miles to get there. Uphill both ways.
And then you getting out too. I said, dang, this is like what dreams are made of.
It's like dinner and a show.
And
Brandon
you're like
crawling around on the rocks.
I was like, this is what dreams are made of. And then you're like, and nightmares, trying to get out on your knees, trying not to slip and fall down to the window. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh man. It was really nice. And sun was going down on us. We were so tired.
Oh my God, the way up.
Yes.
We were humbled. We were humbled.
Man. It was like a spiritual journey for all of us.
Yeah.
Well, except less so for Ivan because skinny boy.
No, I was leading it. I was cocky and confident going on the way down. I was the last one to get out there.
Yeah, on the way down, he's like, let's do Indian runs.
Yeah. And then on the way, what about those Indian runs now, Nathan? Like that. I'm over here cramping up, itch in every single step. My heartbeat was like 180 beats per minute. And I was like, what the heck? And I kept looking up and I kept on seeing more stairs. Like, when will the damn stairs stop? And then
like I said, it's a metaphor for life, dude.
Right?
A random staircase in the mountains.
I'm about to say, take the stairway freaking heaven after
where?
that crap, right? Shit. Sorry, but
Or hell.
no, they make a highway for that one. No, but I kept on seeing Ivan and his cocky smile whenever he fart, and he'd be like waiting for us to go.
Oh, shots fired.
Because we were doing it the whole way.
It was that chilaquiles and
the eggs
asadero
and
and whatever.
Like on the way down, we're like, oh, there's one coming out,
bro. And I was eating all, not on purpose, but I was playing caboose.
It was Mother Nature. It had to come out.
No. You would thought the amount of fresh air would be able to, and me being taller than both of you. I forget that hot air rises, but I'm trying to keep my head above water, and it's just like a minefield.
The first time Ivan let one loose, and you were behind everybody, and I heard you gag, and I was like, there's no way it got there that quick.
The biggest thing that the National Park Service says is leave no trace. And man, your guys' DNA and bacteria are all over that park.
I think we're the reason that global warming is a thing now. God, releasing those methane gases in the air. We're the reason why they make catalytic converters on cars, because all those green gases came out of us today.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
We need legislation to stop farting. But yeah, we made it out right before dark, and we just kind of went home because it was a long trek back, and we changed into our jammies after a quick pizza roll run, and you're like, hey, let's do a podcast. Okay. But the real reason that I've gathered us all here today, us, not meaning y'all, because I didn't physically, it's not my thing that, you know what I'm saying, I didn't gather you, but I've gathered the listeners here. So we're working on a project which is still in its infant stages.
Yeah,
we literally just started talking about it maybe 2 weeks ago. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for, I don't know, a year. Just mentioning, he was like, guys, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of noticed, whenever we were going to your place, we'd always have fun jamming out. Mm-hmm. I was like, you're always like, oh, let's just do this real quick. Oh, let's go out and perform. And I'm like, with what? We don't have anything planned or nothing. And I'm like, you know what? I want to start something new. So that's why I hit y'all up for this kind of thing too. And I'm glad I did, because y'all outperformed my expectations greatly.
We are in the process of starting a little band, and it's not with the intention of I joke about it all day long, but it's it's not one of those projects where it's we're devoting our whole life to this. We're gonna create a 4-step media plan. We are gonna go big or we're gonna bust. This is, in my opinion, you guys can talk about your vision for it. This is more of a passion project. This is another opportunity like this podcast to be creative and to just share something with whoever will listen to it. And if it ends up being likable by a lot of people, which I hope it does, even better, to share that message and maybe be relatable to other people. But we're starting, we don't like to use labels.
No.
But it's very, so far, reminiscent of folk music, country, bluegrass, very soulful, kind of rustic blues.
It's very acoustic, that's what
acoustic.
It is.
Very human, very simple. And our working name so far is going to be Desert Echoes. And of course, everybody on this podcast, when we blow up, I know I said that's not the goal, but when we get famous, you guys are going to be the people that had the news broken to you. But yeah, so
first off, do you want to talk about what you said? It was a passion project. What about you, Ivan? What do you see within this? Whenever I gave you a text saying, hey, do you want to start something, what is your...
I guess I always wanted to be part of a band. And also wanted to play the drums, because bands don't really use saxophone or other instruments like that. So
I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of them actually utilize them a lot, but yes.
But when you sent that text, and you're like, I need you to play drums and some percussion. I'm like, let's do it.
And I'm very surprised. I don't know about you, Brandon, but we're literally sitting in a room for a certain band that Ivan is basically a son of. How have you gone this long without being in a project or a band or anything musical like this, other than your university and maybe even high school and like middle school stuff. Why didn't you ever like try to venture out before you work on like with us?
I don't know. High school, I know why. I was just too lazy.
Oh.
High school, too lazy. Then college, just focused. Yeah, busy and just focused on getting that degree.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because that's what with No Fear was, man. I had to tell them, like, hey, I either work first, get my degree first, have to do with my family, and then it's us. But we still make it work.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. But I was always curious about that. But yeah, I'm happy.
I was actually going to ask that question. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to dance around like whatever.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, like
I was just kind of curious about that. Like, whatever. What didn't
you come from a lot of talent.
Yes.
You are
very
talent incarnate, and so apart from saying ushy gushy things like I'm so blessed to have someone like you to jam around and like talk with and hang out with. But
thanks, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it is. It's cool that we get to start this. Like Nate has the experience.
Yeah.
Of doing a group. I mean, not of this genre, unless I'm mistaken specifically.
No.
But I don't know. Me and Ivan have never done this before, and it's really exciting. So, obviously, Nathan's kind of like the showrunner right now. He's doing all the guitar, the producing, the production, the editing. So far, Ivan's playing the drums and percussion, and we'll work in some other stuff here and there. He acts like he can't sing. I think we'll throw him on some background vocals or something because
He
sells himself short.
I think we can make it happen.
And then me, who can't play guitar, is trying to use this vocal instrument that I have, which is my voice.
Very amazing vocal.
Sometimes,
Yes.
Okay.
Singing and then helping write so far, and we've written and recorded at least a demo for an entire song, which we want to show you here in a minute.
I wouldn't really call it a demo now, but so I guess
It's pretty
much it.
It's pretty much done. It is done.
Yeah,
it's just not published yet.
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess we'll let them have a surprise of how we're gonna release it once we release it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. We'll leave it ambiguous because this is for me, the scariest part was like, man, we're gonna start this. I'm really excited and gung ho, but I'm leaving for 4 months. Then I reminded myself, like, it is entirely possible to, write and come up with ideas and work together from afar. Technology has gotten us there, and as we find time, I'm sure we get some more stuff done, and I'm super, super excited. And so,
But yeah, like this whole thing with mine, like I guess my eyes. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a passion project. I come from a very Mexican household. Everybody wanted me to play norteño music or be in a banda or something like that. And I was very much a black sheep when it came to music. But I loved metal. But I feel like I also have a love for bluegrass and folk. How simple it is, but beautiful it is at the same time. But with this project specifically, I wanted it just to be just my own thing where I can sit down with an acoustic guitar, plug in, and just play whatever I want to come out and record. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we did last time. I just kind of had a riff, called you up, you like it? You guys said yes, I wrote a song.
yeah.
And I don't know, it's very much passion at this point for me, because this stuff is something I can't do with No Fear. Because granted, I love my band. I love the people that I work with. I love what I do. I love the music that I make. But sometimes I do need that outlet. And I believe this project would be that really creative outlet for me to be able to kind of relax a little bit and kind of just play what I want to play. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, that is, we had the conversation in episode 2 talking about your music and how, to the surprise of many, like how much musicality and like thought-provoking like metal music can actually be. It's not just screaming, but at the same time, like, I think this genre has a very different tone.
Yes.
And so, like, lyrics, not to say that lyrics aren't important in metal music, but they're delivered in such a way that, you know, maybe isn't just as simplified and raw as something of this genre. And that kind of stresses me out as the person that's supposed to be singing and writing a lot of these lyrics, but it's also really fun.
Oh yeah.
And so I think we just, you want to just play the whole song?
You want to?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's show them. So the working title, quote unquote working title of this is Down in the River. And let's just play the song. Yeah. And then I want to talk about the lyrics and just some of the process that went into it.
Yeah. So you'll be hearing Brandon on vocals, Ivan on drums, and me on guitar at this point. So here's Down in the River.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
There you go. Surprise, surprise. Merry Christmas, everybody. You will either love that song or hate it because it's not your genre. But I guarantee you we're going to change your mind. Whenever it's on Apple Music and Spotify, you're going to listen to it over and over again. And you're going to love it because we have listened to it so many times. And not just because we're narcissists, but
we're checking for imperfections and stuff like that. But
we're working on it. But at the same time, like... I find new meaning to that song.
Yeah.
New nuggets every time. of just like wisdom and life stuff going on.
But yeah, we won't dwell into the story of it just yet, right? I mean,
we can talk a little bit just about the process.
Yeah, we could.
So Nathan called us, or he texted us on what was it, Saturday, the day before Christmas Eve, and was like, "Hey, can you guys FaceTime?" So we FaceTimed him. He's like, "Hey, I got this riff. I think I'm gonna do this," and he showed us this cool reverse echo effect thing on his guitar, and there's this whole entire riff, and we're like, "Yeah, it sounds so cool." Everything Nathan plays is like from the hand of God, and so we like it. And he's like, "Okay," and so I don't know, 1 a.m, he sends us this audio track of him playing guitar and an Easter egg that will be in the full version of the song, because there's gonna be 2 versions. You guys heard the acoustic, the stripped down version, which we're using a lot in this podcast apparently. So there's gonna be some other Easter eggs and other cool things added in the full version that we've done. But anyway, we're like, yeah. So I went over to Nathan's house. We spent almost an entire day together, lunchtime until, I don't know, after dinner time.
Yeah, it was I guess it was like around what?
Like
you got there at noon. Yeah, we were there for a good while. I think 7 o'clock-ish.
Yeah, and I was so scared because I've written lyrics before of things that I've just heard in my head, but I've never written a song. And Nate's like, "All right, we're gonna write a song today. We're gonna get in the studio. We're gonna write and we're gonna record from scratch." And I heard the track and I was like, "I can't do anything. Like the guitar is just so good. I don't know how my voice is." And then we just,
I think I had like a little snippet of that chorus.
Yeah, the first half of the chorus written.
We just kind of built it off of that. Because we didn't have any kind of plan for a story. All I know was that I wanted it to be a kind of story-built lyric.
On being called down in the river.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, because the first 3 lines, which we'll do a podcast breaking down the entire song, and maybe some other songs that we release, probably together. But, it was sticking to my guns, from a lost whisper, heard it from the trees, been a long winter. Then the voices say, "Go down in the river."
Yeah,
and that was all that like Nate had come up with. Which, dude, thank God, because that was the catalyst for everything else that we came up with. But
yeah, and I don't know why it just happened. I had a little microphone, which the Easter egg will show up in the full version. But all I was saying was "down in the river," and then I think I put "gone with the wind." Because what I was just thinking is this kind of music really does make me reminisce times at the Frio River, because that's where I learned to swim. That was my happy place whenever I was little. Even now, that's where I go to relax. That's where I go to just be me for a little bit. What if I go camping? And I think like that song really did kind of like, I wanted something to say, down in the river. And the story behind it went way off the track of what I did. But I think that's why I put that down, and then we kind of came together and be like, "Yo, this kind of sounds like this," and then we just kind of build the lyrics off of that.
So you'll find I take a lot of inspiration, at least when I was writing that song, from some of my musical legends, like Johnny Cash, and listening to, believe it or not, James and the Shame, which is Rhett McLaughlin.
Oh yeah,
he has a solo music act now, and some other bands that Nathan has sent us in that kind of folk and bluegrass kind of genre, which has been really, really helpful to kind of find the sound that we're searching for, and we're still looking for it.
Yeah, we don't really have to. Like you said, we don't have any labels. This can be our sound. Kind of like I said, with No Fear, we're not. Yeah,
we're going to put that other song me and Nathan recorded a couple weeks ago on there, too. It's cue awkward laughter. Nathan had me record like a verse on a song that he was working on.
Do you want to just play a little bit of it?
Do you want to play it?
I don't mind.
Yeah. Honestly, we can play the whole thing. So Nathan sent us this song that he recorded himself. And I was like, dude, it sounds really nice. And a couple days later, I was still listening to it. I was like, dude, what are the lyrics? And he sent me the lyrics.
I had some ideas. I didn't have like full thing. I just went on ChatGPT and I was like, there, dude.
but then he he was like, hey, you should hop on. You should record it. It's like, got home from school one day, set up my microphone, all giddy, and never recorded vocals in my life. Honestly, they sound like trash until he fixed them up. Some of them were audio clipping, and I had gain set wrong. It was... Anyway, it came out to be a really nice song. I really like it.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Drowning or are you talking about The Valley?
Oh, I was talking about Drowning. Though.
Oh, no. Did you want to show them what we were going to be?
Let's show them the first song that we tried to write. God, this sounds so bad.
Which one?
Show The Valley.
Okay, so this one...
And I'll write I'll sing the lyrics that I originally wrote.
This song, I wanted to be bluegrass. I thought I wanted to be bluegrass instead of folk. So I went in with the mindset of being like, you know, I want to make it sound like a banjo plucking, bass picking, real fast.
I was sketched out.
And I was like, okay, I can do it. And I was like, I think I outdid myself, and I think I never want to hear this song ever again. But yeah, you just let me know when you're ready.
Go for it. Go for it.
So this is The Valley.
This is what we almost were. Yeah. I think I'm going crazy in this little life of mine. Can't find the answers, but I'm searching for them all the time. Although I'm on this journey for my Valentine, I trek on through the woods. I'm living life on borrowed time. In the valley, searching for the life I've lost. All around, you can stop it now.
Yeah, like
so that's as far as we got. Me and Ivan. Hey, that was a live recording. That was not That was not pre-done.
That was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie.
So me and Ivan wrote those lyrics, and it was such a stressful experience because
my God.
we're like, the lyrics don't match the vibe of the song. I don't know what are like. This is difficult. And then Nathan was like, let's just try something else.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I kept on listening to it, and I was like, if I'm getting tired of it, other people are gonna get tired of it. They're like, okay, I'm done. And they're like, we don't have a bassist, and we don't have 5 guitars playing and a banjo playing in the background. It's like, you know what? Let's just go back. Let's just scratch it and just go again.
Exactly.
But yeah, like the song you were talking about.
Do you have the one with me on there on your phone?
Not the newest harmony, but I do have the one with you on here.
Yeah, let's show them that song. That's what I thought we were talking about because I had tried to scrub. I think I'm going crazy. This little life of mine. Although we did keep a little hint of those lyrics in the new song.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, show them the complete departure from folk and bluegrass.
So yeah, this is, what would you call it, grunge? I was just experimenting with tones.
It's like a grunge with growl, like a growling grunge. I don't know.
I was very inspired by, I think it was like Deftones, and I was very inspired by some of the tones that I was hearing from like Pierce the Veil. I was like, you know, I want to come up with something a little softer, a little bit less metal, and a little more, I guess, like you said, grunge, punkish. But I don't even know how the hell we're gonna release it. But here, I'll let you. Let's just release it here. How about this? Is it a BLT
exclusive?
Exactly.
If you like it, send me a personal message or comment or wherever you're seeing this. Send me a personal message,
and you can get the song,
and we'll give it to you.
Yes,
we'll just give it to you.
Yeah, we'll just give it to you
because
we don't have a place to release it.
Yeah, we can't put it under Desert Echoes because that doesn't match the vibe. This isn't a Within No Fear song, so Nathan can't release it there.
There's not even a Spirit Caller thing either.
Which is one of his solo acts that he does.
And not even a Nathan Quiroz thing, because I do Guitarra Mexicana in that one.
I offered to let him release it under my own name because I'll just be a variety.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to give it up.
No, I'm not saying that. But yeah, if you wanted to be an exclusive here, if you want to get it, I don't mind just giving you the link and giving it to people.
Yeah.
It's a good song. It should be released.
If you like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It might not be a cup of tea, but I want to listen to it. I think they deserve.
And just in case you can't email, Brandon over here, we'll shut up through the entire song so you can listen to it.
So you can screen record.
Yeah, you can screen record it. How about that?
There we go.
All right, we're playing a 3, 2, 1.
this last part. It reminds me of like COD Zombies. Ding, 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 ding. Well, anyway, there's an exclusive for you. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, that's fine. If you did, like I said, hit us up. You can have it. Because we have no idea how to release it or where.
Honestly. Yeah. It was just one of those things where...
Maybe I'll just post it as a separate podcast episode and I'll just say bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Something, I don't know.
You could.
Just an idea. But anyway, so that's the music news. Yeah, we'll keep BLT updated, but if not, stick to our personal socials. As things crank up, we'll probably share out the BLT podcast page. I know the guy who runs that thing. He could probably promote a little bit too. But yeah, anyway, so it's getting late. I'm tired. We're all tired. We're going over a little bit over an hour now. Let's finish off, as is tradition. It's a South Park reference, by the way. Have you guys seen that episode? He's like, when they're watching the royal wedding with Prince Harry. No, not Prince Harry. The bald one.
Oh.
And the white chick. But anyway, they're getting married, and it's like, and the prince is ripping off the princess's arm, as is tradition. And it's like, the prince and the princess are now putting their hands in the banana pudding, as is tradition. Like, just like, it's like the broadcast, and I was definitely paraphrasing. Anyway. Anyway, as is tradition, let's go around the room. Let's start with Ivan this time. What's your media recommendation? It started off as movie, then we went to video game, then we were like, oh, let's do shows. I'm even saying, if none of us really read except for Nate in this room at this point, but if you wanted to recommend a book, go for it. So what's your recommendation, Ivan?
I recommend this movie called Arrival, directed by one of the greatest directors working today, Denis Villeneuve. Oh man, that movie is it's about aliens and like and what would happen if they just came here with like 7 ships and just contact Earth and all that stuff. And man, it really changed my perspective of life after that. Like, it has a twist at the end, but man, oh my god, it's such a amazing movie. It's not your typical like space and like war. No, it's humans trying to communicate with them and like having all these strategies on how to communicate. And like the whole movie is about communication, like the United States can't communicate with other countries, and like they're having like trouble communicating, and like
didn't it turn into like a competition between the countries now too at one point?
No, some of the countries just wanted to kill all the aliens. So like, yeah. But
and that's called Arrival.
Yes, Arrival. Yeah.
Do you have I forgot to add this. We also have a hot take if you have one. Maybe a controversial opinion, something that's grinded your gears lately. Just like any unpopular opinion or hot take for life or the world.
The only one that I can think of is ketchup sucks.
You heard it here first. Ivan is declaring war on sugar tomato paste.
We talked about it in the morning. We talked about it
this morning.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I'm not the biggest fan of ketchup, but I don't dislike it.
I don't like it.
There's the counter. We're losing all the viewers. We're listening. Oh, there's no more listeners. And it's your fault. You just torpedoed. I said any controversial opinion, and you picked the most.
Oh my God.
No, we're fine. But yeah, strong.
Ranch is better.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, spam hashtag Team Ranch in the comments. Anyway, Nate, what you got?
Here, I gotta play this first. My media suggestion is Berserk by Kentaro Miura. It's a manga series. It's very much like a medieval time, very messed up, but it's a very good book. It follows the life of somebody called Guts and his ups and downs. He was a bastard child, basically. He was a bad omen. He was picked up by a mercenary group. He was born from a dead woman who was hung, and they picked him up, became a mercenary, was almost killed by his own father. Somebody even paid his father to, I'm not going to say the R word, but do terrible things to him while he was a child. And he got accidentally killed, his father, and it just went from there. It was a life of mercenary to basically fighting off demons, and his best friend becoming a basic, like a fifth part of a hand of God, which are these demons. And it's just a very, very good series. I've read every single book that has come out of that. Like, there's 14 volumes in a deluxe set, which are almost 500 to 600 pages long, and I've had all 14 just sitting in my studio. And the sad thing is that
I saw them the other day.
Yeah. The sad thing about that is that the author passed away before he was able to finish the entire series. So we won't get we won't get the true ending of Berserk. But if you want a good manga, or just a good book, it's like a comic book basically, but it tells a very, very dark and very good story about a young man turning into a man, gaining friends, losing friends, loving, and then the love of his life forgetting him by being also R-worded. It's just a story which will just tangle you in emotions, and just it'll turn you into a man, basically. After reading that, it'll make you feel like, dang, your life is nothing compared to somewhat, what other people are having to deal with.
Whoa.
But yeah, I recommend that by Berserk by Kentaro. How do you say Kentaro? Miura. Yeah.
Bro, and the soundtrack, I'm completely captivated. That was cool. Whoa.
But my hot take, I don't think I really have one.
No?
I mean,
you're happy with the world and everybody?
How about some motivation?
Okay. Yeah, do that.
Okay. Always keep your head up. Okay? Always keep your head up. The only path that you can choose is the one that you are on. You have no choice of doing it. Live the life that you decide to live. Make that choice that you want. If you want ice cream today for dinner, go ahead and do it. But make sure you learn to love yourself before you can gain the love of other people. So always, always, always keep your head up.
Bruh, snaps. Hey. Holy cow.
There's gonna be haters. Trust me.
Haters gonna hate.
There is gonna be
gonna
haters.
Celebrate. Hey, write that down. Next song. Well, my media recommendation of the week, I'm gonna get killed for this one because I can't believe he didn't say it. The movie just came out this last week on Netflix. Called he's tripping hard. Called Maestro, which is a biopic of the late Leonard Bernstein, who, if you do not know who Bernstein is, you need to look him up. You need to watch this movie. You need to Google him. You need to buy a book or something. Watch his videos on YouTube.
Watch his videos, man.
Bernstein, as a quick summation, is perhaps the most prolific American conductor and composer to have ever lived so far. Bernstein was born at the tail end of World War I, and throughout his life he composed some very recognizable forms of media, the form of Broadway shows such as West Side Story, Candide, and many more. And he was probably the most prolific conductor of the New York Philharmonic and many others. He was an outstanding, I would love to have even an ounce of the talent and I don't even know,
perseverance
of this man. Like, incredible man. And so Maestro is a biopic written, directed, and produced by
Starred.
The leading man in this movie is Bradley Cooper. The resemblance is uncanny. The makeup and the design, the cinematography is fantastic. It is black and white for the first half, but come on now. Okay. Sorry, that was a burp. That was weird. And although it's not a, from birth to casket biopic, it really centers on his personal life, his family, his love, his wife, Felicia.
Yeah.
And also, hints on some very important moments in his life. And it's an incredible movie. I foresee it winning at least some kind of awards here in the next month or two. Cross my fingers. There needs to be more movies about the arts in America and elsewhere. There needs to be more movies about these composers. We have Amadeus, which is a caricature of what Mozart was. Very, very, very fictionalized. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen Amadeus, it came out in like the 80s, 90s. Great movie, but not nearly true. And every movie is going to be romanticized a little bit. The other closest thing that I can think of is Tar, which is a completely fictional movie that came out like last year with Cate Blanchett. And she's the head of the Berlin Philharmonic, and it turns into like a suspense thriller movie, which is a great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go watch Tar. T-A-R, but the A has an accent on it. Anyway, my hot take leads exactly with the movie this time, and it's with the hoity-toity music people in our circles and above, that are already just like destroying this movie and everything that is related to our field because it's not good enough. Bradley Cooper isn't nearly as good as Bernstein ever was. Well, excuse my language. No shit,
Yeah,
Sherlock.
exactly.
Yes.
Jesus.
Like, oh my god.
And it's like, oh, well, this movie doesn't even half of what his life was, and it was just lackluster and flat, and it was gray, and just wasn't good enough. And it was all like we keep hearing. Me and Ivan had a very long discussion about this the other day, reading some comments from a very beloved composer in today's land, and all the people who are interacting with him and just talking about their review of the movie. And it's just like, can we not enjoy a movie that is at the very least introducing a generation of people to the legacy of this man? There are so many people out here, especially in today's world, that have no idea who he is. I'm pretty sure, no offense, unless you're in the music department from the school that we went to, there's probably 50% of the people on this podcast have never heard of Bernstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the people that have maybe have heard his name, but don't know all that he's done. Ivan accidentally made a phone call. But anyway, it's a great movie, and if you watch it through the lens of, I'm a music critic because I'm very good in my field, true, and you might have met this person, but at least appreciate the movie for what it is, for what it's trying to do, for introducing young people and the current kind of pop culture to this legend, and appreciate the extraordinary acting and just the film design, and the things that they did get right. That's all I'm saying.
Appreciate the art behind what it is.
Oh, man.
It's an art.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, sure. Like, they have comments, but you have to understand it's still art.
Mm-hmm.
He even got permission from his family.
From the
From
family.
the family.
So,
yeah.
And he used his daughter's autobiography,
yeah.
book,
So those
memoir.
hoity-toity people that think they know it all can
Yeah.
go back to LA in their mom's basement and shut up. Like, God.
Where's the soundboard at? I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
But anyway, that's my hot take. It's not that serious, guys. Well, I mean, it is serious. I understand you want it to be more. And who's to say that this won't catalyze a mini series or a documentary or something? Honestly, you do it. Use your money.
Yeah.
You put something together. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's free. It's on Netflix. It's called Maestro, featuring Bradley Cooper. It was a very limited theatrical release. It's exclusively on Netflix. Go watch it.
Watch his videos.
And watch his...
Music majors that are listening.
Yeah. If you are someone who aspires to be a music educator or a conductor or even a musician, there's so many good YouTube videos out there or free videos online of him giving lectures at Harvard, him giving conducting master classes and rehearsal videos of his.
What was his TV show that he had for young children?
Is it, well, he did Omnibus. That was like a CBS or something. But no, there was something else, like young people's Guide to the Orchestra, or I don't know,
something like that.
He did like, we're not gonna have a Bernstein podcast right now because he's incredible, but look him up. He's fantastic. But anyway, this is the end, unless you have one more thing, Nathan.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're listening to this podcast or listening to all of our music, put your phone down and put it away. Go into nature and get inspired. I'm tired of this crap. All I see is people on their dang phones because it's the dang generation of that. Go touch grass.
Touch some grass. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for that message, Grandpa. But for real, yeah, he does have a point. I was not expecting that, though.
I was just thinking about that because you're like talking about the comments on the videos and stuff like that. Go touch some damn grass.
Go to Big Bend National Park. Look at the dinosaur bones.
Yeah, exactly.
Walk 5 miles to the window and almost die because the rocks are slippery.
Hey, we still made it, and I feel inspired.
But yeah, be inspired. Do something. I don't know. Be productive. But at the same time, if you need a break, don't feel like you have to be productive because we all deserve a break. There's no fancy outro this time. It's just me live and in stereo. Well, it's mono. Live and in stereo with my buddies. We're here. We're acoustic. We're unplugged. Keep on the lookout for Desert Echoes. It's been fantastic talking with you all. Stay tuned. Hit that notification button on Spotify or wherever you're listening to this. And you all have a blessed and happy New Year. Be safe. Enjoy the rest if you're able to get it. Go watch Maestro. Go watch Arrival. Read, the manga Berserk that Nathan mentioned, and touch grass. So that's it for BLT episode 7. You all have a wonderful day.